Ready to create an amazing story?
Choose a book from one of these real-life writing heroes
to make a new story just like theirs.
Maya Angelou was a writer and poet who used her words for good.
A poet is someone who puts words together in a super special way called a poem.
Some poems rhyme, which means they have words that end in the same sound, like moon and balloon.
Ooh, let's create a poem that rhymes, all about Dr. Zoom. A rhyming poem about Dr. Zoom. How should we start? Dr. Zoom. A rhyming poem about Dr. Zoom. How should we start? Dr. Zoom is super smart. What's that, Dr. Zoom? These words make you feel good? And you want more? Okay. Also, Dr. Zoom loves tea. Almost as much as... Also, Dr. Zoom loves tea. Almost as much as having a turtle party.
Wow! Didn't see that coming.
Dr. Zoom's brave and tries new things, like... Dr. Zoom's brave and tries new things, like flying with wings. So super brave. Dr. Zoom can spend all afternoon dancing. Dr. Zoom can spend all afternoon dancing with a raccoon. Dr. Zoom's got the moves. Did you know Dr. Zoom's favorite power is... Did you know Dr. Zoom's favorite power is singing in the shower? What a talented super turtle. And when it's time for bed, Dr. Zoom likes to cuddle on. And when it's time for bed, Dr. Zoom likes to cuddle on. My sleepy head. Oh, Dr. Zoom. And even though our poem is just about done, Dr. Zoom, you're... And even though our poem is just about done, Dr. Zoom, you're loved a ton.
Group hug?
The end.
Wow, that was a great poem.
Dr. Zoom just loves how we use our words for good.
Just like Maya Angelou.
Charles Dickens used his imagination to write great stories.
Stories that lots of people still love today.
Ooh, let's create a story about Brad's imagination. One day, Brad was laying down on his... blanket. When suddenly, Brad imagined it was... a whale. And Brad imagined he was in the ocean. Then Brad imagined he saw... popcorn.
Whoa! Now that's using your imagination.
And Brad imagined he was holding a tennis racket.
Whew! My imagination is exhausting.
So, Brad imagined he was relaxing in imagined he was relaxing in the museum.
Ooh! Now there's a story I loved.
The end.
Thanks for telling such a silly story about my imagination.
Using your imagination makes everything more fun.
Just like Charles Dickens. The Bronte sisters were creative people who loved to pretend.
Charlotte, Emily, and Anne wrote lots of great stories.
Hey, let's create a story about us pretending. One rainy day, Yadina pretended to be... One rainy day, Yadina pretended to be a bug. And Xavier pretended to be... And Xavier pretended to be a clown. Yadina and Xavier pretended they were inside. Yadina and Xavier pretended they were inside a castle. When suddenly, they pretended the floor turned into... When suddenly, they pretended the floor turned into lava. I'll save them. So then, Brad pretended to rescue his friends as... Dun-dun-dun-dun! So then, Brad pretended to rescue his friends as... Dun-dun-dun-dun! Bradman!
Yay, Brad, our brave hero!
Xavier and Yadina were proud to have such a brave friend as they climbed aboard Brad's rescue. Xavier and Yadina were proud to have such a brave friend as they climbed aboard Brad's rescue balloon.
That was amazing!
The end.
Thanks for telling such a surprising story about us.
And pretending some amazing things.
Just like the Bronte sisters.
Mary Shelley used her imagination to write stories that were totally different from everybody else's.
Some of her stories were spooky.
Ooh, let's create a story about Xavier. Your way. Xavier was walking in the woods when suddenly something happened that was very... Xavier was walking in the woods when suddenly something happened that was very spooky. He came face to face with a... He came face to face with a ghost. At first, Xavier tried to... Xavier tried to run away. But then, Xavier decided to be brave.
Go, Xavier!
Xavier stood bravely, holding a flashlight. To Xavier's surprise, the ghost said... "Let's boogie."
Wow! Didn't see that coming.
The end.
Thanks for making an amazing story about me.
Your own way.
Just like Mary Shelley.
Pick a story to create.